Okay. Hello, everyone. Today, I'll present to you the flywheel. Okay. So, what is uh what is flywheel? A flywheel is a what we can see in our car engines, in a water wheel also, in oil pumps, punching press, and so on that are fueled like engine. So back to the PowerPoint, flywheel is a heavy rotating body that acts a reservoir of energy. It is a big circle that rotates, which consists of an arm or a web-like structure. Its primary function is to store energy and releases it when needed during the work cycle. A flywheel can reduce the flywheel itself can stores energy. So parang maghahati sila ni electric motor sa power capacity. It is also to reduce the amplitude of speed fluctuations that can stabilize the engine speed. Next is the difference between the flywheel versus governor. So from the image, as you can see, you can tell that the difference between those two bodies in physical state, but its functions through the machine are we will differentiate. First up is the flywheel, this one. Flywheel, as we differentiate, it is a mechanical device that only stores energy, meaning this does not contribute to all work, but only can release energy when needed during the work cycle. It It also controls the variation speed, which means it cannot change the speed of the crankshaft during the cycle. Also, it does not applicable to small or negligible energy output engines. As for the governor, okay, next slide. As for the governor, it is a mechanical device that only governs from the root word itself governs the speed of machines. The governor also controls the mean speed of the engine, thus it can manipulate or change the fluctuation speed of the engine. It is supplied by the fuel, therefore the governor is essential to all types of fueled engines and under-operated when the engine is running. Next slide is the materials for flywheel. Especially, the flywheel is only made up of cast iron. Why? Because it is cheaper and only effective application for old steam engines and automobiles. Also, high-strength steel and those of composite of steel, lead, and cast iron are the best and proposed for only regenerative braking systems for some vehicles. And lead are only best for some of the children's toys. These materials are only best used depends upon the application. Next is the construction of flywheel. From the shown figure on the left side is the flywheel with web, and on the right side figure is the flywheel with arms, as you can see that. The difference of the two is that those with arms consist of either 4 to 6 arms with hub there, with rims, the outside part, and shaft at the middle, while the flywheel with web is like a cover from the rim to the hub. There's a cover. And but consists of usually 4 holes. You can see there. Next slide is the type of flywheel. Which one is the split type flywheel? So split type flywheel is consist of arms that are elliptical to such a large flywheel. But for the small flywheels, these are only of webs. This type of flywheel are induced stresses in the arms, therefore it has a heavy concentration of the mass at the rim and at the hub. Next slide is the torque analysis in flywheel. As you can see on the figure, shows that the flywheel at the middle and at the end of the shaft are those two rotating bodies that are in motion connected by a shaft at the middle there. It also shows that the flywheel has an inertia times the derivation of fluctuation. Inertia times the derivation of fluctuation, which is equals to the input torque minus the output torque. Also, we can apply the other torque formula, this one, that is equals to mass times the outer radius squared over 2, and then all over the acceleration due to torque. Next slide is the coefficient of fluctuation of speed. The fluctuation of speed consists of the coefficient, letter C, and the maximum and minimum of fluctuation. Maximum and minimum of fluctuation all over the mean speed of fluctuation. From the formula of coefficient, seems that all over the mean speed. From there, we can also determine the fluctuation that is equals the maximum fluctuation minus the minimum fluctuation all over 2. Next is the fluctuation of energy in flywheel, which shows that the graph has its consistency there from flow of the crank angle from points A to point G. Therefore, our flywheel is maintaining its consistent speed in such a crank angle. Next slide is the second type of flywheel, which is the solid disc flywheel. From the figure shows that the solid disc that has no holes. This solid disc type of flywheel can be seen in our automobile's engine, and because of that, it is the simplest type of the flywheel. Next is the last type of the flywheel, which is the rimmed flywheel. The rimmed flywheel consists of an arms that is larger than the previous type. It also consists of a hub there, the hub, and arms that is usually 4 to 6 arms, and the outer rim is large, and there's also a shaft at the middle. The design of it, the design of rimmed flywheel, contribution of shaft, hub, and spokes consist of only 10%, while the arms contributes the 90% of it. Why 90% of to arms? Because the arms contributes the most to the rim and the shaft and hub. The moment of mass of inertia carries the whole at the arms. Therefore, we have inertia of the rim is equals to coefficient of fluctuation times the inertia. And lastly, the stresses of the rimmed flywheel has the following: the tensile stress due to centrifugal force, tensile bending stress caused by the restraint of the arms, and the shrinkage stresses due to the unequal rate of cooling of casting. That will be all. Thank you.